I mean, speaking of which, we gotta make a GIF out of your boy, out of the raccoon. I mean, he is so fired up in this
Going
video, and it's
crazy.
so real. And I messed up, and I meant to change the words, you know, when it said that's Rich fucking Ryan, but
I
I
saw said
it,
Riot, which is a
but
good
I
name
kind of
too.
like that.
Richie Riot
I kind of like that.
going crazy on wall balls.
But he's so fucking. They gave him a 9 kg ball. I mean, it's so good. It's so good,
A little bit of his draw in there.
right?
It was great. Yeah, I watched. I get fired up. It was good that you put that up front too, and then like kind of went back and
And I
saw.
rarely do that. I rarely do that little Instagram trick they tell you to do. Put the punchline up front because I don't like to do that. I like to build. But I was like, you know what? This is too good, right?
That was really fun. That was a fun weekend, dude. The relay. I was on your imagine, Matt, coming into relay and they hand you a 20-pound ball instead.
That's what they did for me, I think.
No way.
I think that's why mine was so hard.
That's probably it.
Why are there 3 balls in HYROX? I think I just learned that.
Yes, there's 3. There's 3. Well, there's a because the 14's the women's pro and men's open, and then there's a 10 for women's open.
That's 2 balls.
And then 20 for the men's pro. There's like 3 different levels.
I feel like there should be 2 levels, which there will be apparently starting next year, right?
For the doubles?
Well, you guys were talking about it.
I'm not exactly sure how it's going to go. I would imagine they're just going to add a new division. So it's going to be like a doubles open and then a doubles pro, and then still a women's open and women's pro. So they're just going to add more, is what I'm guessing. Wouldn't you think?
I don't know. I feel like there might be too many records.
Doubles go ruck, open. Doubles go ruck. Pro.
I mean, I was sent a home workout, and I won't call this person out, but I got sent a doubles or a self-recorded home thing, and I was
for
like,
HYROX?
yeah. Well, no, I showed you. I showed it what it was.
Mm.
And he posted it, and so it's on his account. But I'm just like, come on, guys, let's chill the fuck out.
Oh, a record, not a workout. I got you.
Let's please chill the fuck out, okay? With your Sims, come on, dude.
Now we have the records, so I think there's wherever there's a record, Armor's coming.
Well, I think we are peak Irmer right now. We had a Chicago weekend with really good performances. You guys are riding high, right? You're riding super high. And then Dallas happens for funsies, but you guys show up and just crush all of them.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. So was Kent supposed to be on that 4-way team? Because I was surprised he wasn't.
He was supposed to do the push and I think the lunges, and Dylan was going to do all the ergs. But Kent decided to sit it out. So
why?
It just was like too much on the day.
No, it isn't.
Like, yeah, too much on that day. He's like he's riding high. He's like the best in the world right now. He can do what he wants.
I'm just
kidding. Didn't matter. No, we had Plyo on.
I'm just saying you did it. You did doubles, right?
I'm for the team.
And then a 4, right? And he had to. He didn't even. He carried girls' farmers carry. Come on, dude. Why don't you just give a rabbit or something like a fly?
we had a Plyo in the mix, so we were better off anyway.
I know, dude. I'm just giving him.
And I did ask him. It's Plyo, not Paleo. Plyo. I was saying Plyo for a long time. You?
So it's Pelayo Menendez Fernandez.
Mm-hmm.
Which my boy Tommy always says the full name. I love it whenever he's announcing.
He does.
Pelayo Menendez Fernandez.
He's good. I like him.
I saw you hugging him. I was like, dude, that's my boy. Tommy's the man.
Is he? Yeah, because I mean, I'm a big HYROX guy also.
Right. So me, Coach, HYROX, Tommy have all worked Tough Mudder like together.
Oh,
so I'm guessing either Coach or HYROX recommended Tommy. I'm guessing. I don't know.
Oh, gotcha. That makes sense.
But yeah, when I saw him there, Chicago was his first one. So right. I actually texted him a picture of you guys hugging it out, And I said, welcome to the high society.
Is he into it? Is he
Yeah,
bought
of
in like
course he's
you? Is he
into
on
it.
that?
No,
Is he on that Kool-Aid like you are?
he's totally into it. I think, yeah, I think when you get gigs like that, a lot of times it's like, what's next, right? Here's this marathon, here's this corporate gig, like whatever. And yeah, I think he's digging the vibe, man. I think he's digging it.
Because you could tell he remembered a lot of the people from the previous week and was kind of telling the stories on
Right.
the microphone. So yeah, he's doing a great job.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I love hearing him say that. Paleo Menendez Fernandez, whatever his name is. Getting Ronkovich's name right, getting all the names right.
Ronco. I like that you got his nickname out of him.
Right.
I love that. He's like, what's it? He's like, you have a nickname? He's like, Alex. Stupid. You're like, no. Like an American nickname. I'm like, oh,
Stupid.
I don't know.
We should just make that soundbite of yours like they do like on the Stern Show. You go
Hit a drop.
stupid.
I'm with it. So you recovered from your double weekend. I had 2 weekends in a row now of travel and racing, and it is exhausting. I feel like I've opened myself up to potentially like get sick or like be overly worked. But you had Tough Mudder right into Chicago. Are you recovered at this point?
So I had this weekend off, which was
Nice.
desperately needed, right? And I played some soccer with River, which is great. We built a goal in the backyard, and River is known for liking something for about 5 minutes, and then he gets
Okay.
very upset, and then is over it. And you know, when you're a parent, it's like the kind of money you spend on this kind of stuff and the time you put into it. But we finally have a winner in the soccer goal, so it's not like regulation, but it's a good size, and it
Mm.
bought on Amazon. It's pretty sturdy, and we're out there kicking it, and it's fun. And I'm not even a soccer guy. I never played it growing up,
How old's
but
River?
River's 10.
10. Okay.
Um, and he doesn't want to play in a team. He's very much like just doesn't want to do it. But we're back there, so that was great. So I just took it. It was just nice to take it easy. Like, yeah, I mean, I recorded with a bunch of guys yesterday. That was a lot of
Mm-hmm.
fun. And then what did I do on Saturday? Was that Saturday? I can't even remember what I did, but it's just nice to have a weekend off, especially because I'm about to go into another crazy weekend, DEKA, then the
Mm-hmm.
UK. So it's going to be rough. So it's nice this week, Thanksgiving, super light, right? I'll do some stuff, but like, you know what I mean? Just the pressure's off because it's Thanksgiving week.
What's after DECA? You go to the UK?
Ethics, baby.
They're bringing you out there?
Yeah, man.
What?
Uh,
That is an event I do want to try. That looks awesome. I
well,
talked I, I talked to HYROX for a second because I did see him. He raced in that like powerlift heat or whatever we were in, and he's going over for that. He did one. He's going over for that, and he's like pretty hyped about it.
he's serious about it. I am not. I mean, I'm not competing.
Are
I'm
you
not at a
doing?
level.
Oh, I was gonna say you're competing. You
Yeah,
could.
no, I don't think I'm good. I hadn't, other than HYROX, I hadn't even worked out or gone on a run since my media lap at World's Toughest. I didn't realize it had been that long, and I just been eating like a fucking pig. Back to just going back down the slope.
We took a week off, right?
Well, more than it's one thing to listen. If you're training at a high level and you take a week off, it's not a big deal. If you're kind of barely
Mm-hmm.
just getting back into it, and
Mm-hmm.
then you start eating like a horrible person again. So yesterday, I'm like, I have to just go. I have to just leave and I didn't want to. I didn't want to leave my house. So I forced myself to go. And I went on like a 4 mile, just like in the first 3 miles, I was barely moving. It was just like one of those things I just couldn't. But then I got down and I was glad that I did.
Just got it in. What happened in that week? And that week can change.
I'm just, I'm just, I'm just a good addict. If I have one sort of cheat day, it's like, well, fuck it. Now we're just gonna eat garbage.
That's
Like when I'm doing
perfectionist.
when I'm doing it exactly when I'm doing it right, you know, you and I have talked about like doing the travel thing, and like you pack your food and you do as good as you can and blah blah
Yeah.
blah. And sometimes you have the occasional whatever. But it's like, oh, I'm just gonna have Wendy's today. Like that's the kind of mood I've been in. And it's like, it's never good. For
Mm.
me, a lot of people, if you can have the Wendy's one day, for me, if I have Wendy's today, I'm probably gonna have something crappy tomorrow. So
Mm.
yesterday I made a pretty I mean, I've just not been eating good at all, along with not exercising, and it's just a cyclical thing of I feel bad, I eat bad, I feel bad, I eat bad. So I have to keep it. I have to keep it lean and mean, and
So,
so
so mostly stems from the nutrition side.
it's always both.
And
But
is that like
nutrition's
when
a
you eat? Or let me ask you this: if you eat bad, will you then not work out? And on the opposite end, when you work out, then do you eat better?
when I'm working out and running a lot, it's so much easier for me to be like, yep, not having that. I'm
It's like
gonna
things are going well. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Hmm.
right. So now we're back on it. We're back on it.
We're back on. That's all you need. It's not even
That's
that
all,
long of a time.
one good run yesterday is all I needed. Um, and now I'm back on it. Got the wall ball, as you may have seen.
I did see Laura hooking it up.
Spray painted a tree. So
Oh, nice.
now when I do the workout, uh, should it replace something or should it just add? Because
Add.
right, okay.
It can it well, and it can swap. It doesn't have to just be like tacked on to the end of your workout that you've been doing. It could just be
Well, I
like
feel like you
instead
still.
of
Well, I feel like burpees were the greatest because they're such a fucking horrible thing.
yeah.
But maybe I should do wall balls at the end to kind of like replicate the HYROX in the high
Yeah.
society.
For both, really. Or you can just like drop you can do burpees without the ram sometimes and burpees with it other times. Or you can go back and forth, do the ram right into wall balls. There's so much you could do now with this wall ball. You can do the med ball sit ups.
Pregnant mommy balls.
Yep. You could do those. You can do that's really kind of all you can do with the wall ball. That's all
I
I've
could
really
I
done.
could do this thing,
Do some obliques. Yep.
pass it to a person.
Russian twists.
Will you
Yeah.
come over
Yep.
to my house? Can we pass it to each other?
We could do that. Yeah. We could do them. It's been long enough.
If we can get, if we
You
can,
need them.
if you and I can figure out the sponsorship package to get me to come out to a camp, that would be the best.
That would be amazing. Because
Where I
it's been
put,
long enough in your life. Like you should have a Rocky montage. There's no reason why you shouldn't have this
right.
with this workout journey that you're on, dude. I'm glad that you had that setback, and it's not gonna like go into months. That's a win, right? Because it's when it's good, it for you, and especially like when it's good, can continue to be good.
Right.
On the opposite side, when it's bad, it can roll into weeks of being bad. So now, just one dip down, and you're back on it. Now you know that's all you need. You can do that.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
So I'm happy. I'm happy you had a bad week.
I'm not, but I'm glad to be. Yeah. Um, I also am just tired a lot. I think some of it's because the medicine I take, but also like just getting older. Like I nap an awful lot. Stacey's like, "You're a fucking old man." I'm like, I don't know. I'm tired a lot.
Like, are you choosing to nap, or is the nap just happening to you?
Well, I mean, it used to be like I could just crush all day and maybe take a brief one in the afternoon if I needed to. But like, yeah, it's one of those like rest begets more rest. So if I'm sitting around on a Saturday, it's very possible I nap, get up, do some stuff, and then nap again.
Well, that's why I was asking about world's toughest, because if the naps are already needed, maybe a long sleepless weekend lingers
No,
for
that always takes me a
weeks.
bit. I think I told you, I can't remember what we talked about, what I've said on the podcast, but I was not in HYROX mindset. When I
Right.
got to HYROX, I was like, you guys are talking about it and who's gonna win. And I was like, I'm in world's toughest mode, buddy. But then, like I
Hmm.
said, once I got there, started seeing everybody, started walking around the center, I was just in love with it, man. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what it feels like at DEKA because HYROX to me, the production level's so high, right?
Hmm.
It'll
Hmm.
be very interesting to see what happens at DEKA Worlds. Um,
What do you
how much?
anticipate?
I mean, I participate to feel like a DEKA. I mean, I didn't go to last year's World Championship. What did it feel
Mhm.
like?
Yeah, just like a more like a better attended DECA,
DEKA.
and because yeah, DECA, a lot of people will come, and it will be kind of how they do Spartan. It's in town, they do it, and then they don't really think about it for the rest of the year until it comes back. Where DECA, it's the people who have that type of mentality for the HYROX for DECA Worlds. They're all in the same place, so the energy of the people and like the excitement is elevated because of the number of the people that are there, and that they're all kind of on the same mindset. But like, yeah, it's still DECA. Like it's still like just like, oh, this is just a like an empty convention center, you know.
Well, how are you feeling? Because obviously you are the reigning champ.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Prior to this weekend, like you needed a win, right? Like you needed the proverbial win, and then you snuck into the majors, right? Well, you had a great performance out of the majors, and then these records. So like now you're back, your arrow's pointing up.
Mm-hmm.
So is the pressure off, or do you feel just as much pressure to win the world championship as you did prior to Chicago and Dallas?
I don't feel a lot of pressure to win this world championship,
Do you
honestly.
care?
I care. I want to perform really well. I cared a lot last year, though. I
We
don't care
care
the
a
same.
lot.
I cared a lot last year. This year, like the focus has been toward HYROX, and so I now feel better after doing that relay and the doubles for DEKA because I'm like, oh, okay, like my higher end is there, but I'm just not really gonna be that familiar with how this race is gonna feel. Leading in my build into it last year was like DEKA strong sim. I did like a 5K and then I did a DEKA sim, and I was just like really dialed in. And I'm not gonna be dialed in like that this year. So I don't know. I don't feel that much pressure to perform on it. I'm just gonna go out and everyone's gonna freaking pick Rylan and Kent anyway. You guys made a post. Kent was on the first page on it. I noticed he was the first guy,
We
but
had more photos, by the way. We went pretty deep, but uh, I had to make an editorial decision on how many pictures we put up, and that's
and I
why.
was second. See, so that's what's gonna happen anyway. So there is no. I don't think anyone's expecting me to win again. So we're just going to see how it goes.
Well, I mean, I can tell you what's going to happen.
What's going to happen?
Well, you're going to run a lap,
At least one.
and then you're going to do box step overs.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're going to run another lap.
2 laps.
Oh, 2 laps.
There may be this venue that we're having it at is where Hunter set the world record in Dallas 2 years ago for HYROX. So it's huge because it's kind of like how Chicago was big and long like that, and there could be 2 laps. This venue, if they did the whole thing, they may
You're
have not.
faster than Ryan Kent, though.
What's
Aren't
that?
you? Aren't you
In
faster
terms
than
of
Ryan?
like
Speed.
foot speed? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are you faster than Rylan?
Yeah, I think so. The way he's been
Okay.
running recently, I'm not sure, but if we got on the road 5K or something, I would beat him.
Are you the fastest one in the field?
Um, Anas is very fast.
And that's not going to be there.
He's not
Nope.
breaking.
He's out.
Breaking news:
Breaking news. Anas
Marcus
is
Wallace
out.
is going to be. He's going to be in the fast heat.
I mean, I don't know who's doing what with the heats, but
Our guy, Alphonse de Ruiz, making it international, making it a world championship. He's out here. So probably not then. If there is, I'm blanking on it, but I don't think so. No.
well, I would just say, oh, and I thought you were only in one, but it turns out as king of the roll downs, once again, you're in multiple races.
I'm in all of them. Well, I screwed up on the strong because I didn't think I was going to make it. But turns out I didn't have to leave the venue earlier than I thought. So I hit up Yancey. I was like, hey, man, what you think? He's like, for you, in.
This is the sport that we have, by the way. This is DEKA Fit, because I got this list from Yancey even prior to you getting in, and there was some 18s, some 22s. And I was like, Yancey, I thought this was the top 20. He's like, well, some people didn't get the email on time, and it's like, listen, I'm fine with all of it, but isn't it just kind of funny? Like you can't imagine like a real sport, just like,
Right.
yeah, 22. Soft 20
It's
is the phrase that Marcus has coined. Soft 20.
soft 20. I like it. It was a soft, like there was 13 in the DEKA Fit last year for the women. But it's hard. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have to
No,
have
being
people
short
commit.
is one thing because people don't want to. They have to
Well,
pay their own way.
last year was 12. Last year there's
Right.
only 12 in the.
But over 20 because we like the guys is like, all right, why not? Sure.
Hey, I
I'm-
benefit from it.
I'm
in
happy
there.
you're in it. You are clearly team roll down. It's becoming a thing.
It's great. There's nothing wrong with being a roll downer. There's nothing wrong. You gotta take your opportunities. Our guy Palaio, roll downer, crushing, world record holder now. He's going out to Stockholm. So he's gonna be at all the majors too. Or what are you gonna do to cover Stockholm? How you gonna manage this weekend on the
I
media
don't
side of
know.
things?
I don't know.
You got a
you can,
correspondent?
I do not currently have anyone on the ground. So if you're listening to this and you'd like to help, that would be great. The problem is people that are there to race, right? So it's hard to
Right.
get.
Right. Yeah, you
Usually it's
usually
like,
ask me to help, and I'm like, I can't. I will do my best, and it's not going to be good. My
right,
best will be poor.
right. You're no Nick Riker, who used to help me about 50% of the time.
Yeah, that's definitely better than I would do.
I mean, listen, all I'm doing is trying to promote you and the sport. So if you don't want to be promoted,
I know you're help. You're just trying to help. I'm just my brain's not there. I can't have it there.
no, I get it. I totally get it. It's all I think about, right? It's all I think about. You guys cross the finish line, I'm like, getting that photo. It's all I think about, right? Trying to
Mm-hmm.
round up sweaty people after
Mm-hmm.
HYROX is very
It's
difficult,
hard. It's hard.
right? But that's all I think about. It's like, to me, that's the money shot, and it always pays off. And I'm really glad that I did it. And so, but I get it. That's not everybody's first choice. I always think, well, look, you can get it later at the awards, but then people forget, and
The awards are later. Yeah.
awards are later. Everything's later.
One day I'll hook it up for you. I'll go as a correspondent one of these times without it being a racer.
Could you do that? Could you go to a DEKA or HYROX and just hang out at this age?
At this age, probably not. I'd have
Okay.
to be like not racing as much and just be like, I'm
Right.
going just to be a coach at
Right.
this event.
Right. There you go.
I haven't done that.
When your days are past.
When my days are past, when I'm only doing doubles, because that's the move.
But your picture's on the wall as a world champion. Like, oh yeah, it used to be me.
How they do the Rogue, like the Legends Heat. You seen that? They'll have like Chris Spieler out there.
Right.
They'll
But
have
I'm saying HYROX
Matt Chan.
Has Lauren and Hunter on giant posters.
Yeah, that's true. I need to get on a poster.
It could be you.
Like, why not me?
Well, they probably don't like you very much because you're such a pain in the ass, but
Yeah, they probably not. They probably don't love it, but they probably still don't. I bet they don't even remember. It's water under the bridge at this point. We're all good. Me and HYROX.
I hope so.
Yeah, we're good to go.
Let me make sure. Hang on. I got to make sure I got this room booked for a while. What booth am I in? Damn it. Where am I?
Where you at?
Place? Hang on. Am I in the right place?
Why, somebody out there like hovering?
No, but I saw somebody walk by. Oh, that's a different one. Old Fourth Ward. Wow, this place is busy for it being a holiday week.
Everyone's got to get that in on Monday and Tuesday.
Jamming. Hang on, I got a very important message. It might be related to
Is
what
it
we're
really?
talking.
You always say this. It's never related. It was like, oh my god, this is huge news. I'm about to break, and you're like, oh, never mind. I got to get cat food. You guys have cats?
I have one. What the fuck is this?
It's cat food. Do all cats have wet food? Or do cats eat dry food like dogs?
Listen,
I don't
I'm
really
checking
know
this
much.
important message.
I have questions that I need to have answered
Listen,
about the cat food
I
situation.
just got this is a Saudi question. All eyes are on Saudi. Okay. The
How much
race
have you talked about this? Can we talk about this?
You and I haven't talked about it at all. You don't want to go. You're
I
like,
don't want to go.
You're like, I can't race for 8 hours. I went there for goofy games. They fucked me. I'm never going back. Is that
Never
how it
going
happened?
back. Yeah, I'm not. Mostly but these payouts
That's what I'm saying.
are crazy.
Couldn't you get on a team?
I didn't know there was a team
with like little Leon or something.
I mean, that because Tough Mudder obstacles are not that hard.
No,
Yeah,
they're not.
If it's a team, I'm a relay guy. I have lots of relay records now.
Right,
So,
that's what I'm saying. Wouldn't you like money? Do you like money?
That's why I went to the goofiest games of all. Freaking Gov games.
This is going to have real obstacles, a real start and finish line. Many of your friends in the obstacle racing world will be there.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be really fun. But still, it's so far, dude. And it's the same weekend as or no. When is it? It's the weekend before one of the majors.
Probably.
Are you in the right spot? You getting kicked out?
No, I'm good. Yeah, it's going to be a duel in the desert. It's going to be all the best, toughest Mudder people, world's toughest people.
Okay. List top 5 females. Who we got?
Females?
Yeah.
Well,
we got Chris.
No, Chris is going.
That's what I said. I said we got Chris, not Chris. We got Chris.
Lindsay.
Lindsay's gonna be there. Wow.
Let me pull up
Is
my
like
list.
Ida going? Do you have a
Ida.
list?
Sorry, Ida. Name somebody else.
Who would you like? Did Morgan McKay say she was in?
Morgan, but Morgan's, honestly not probably one of the top women right now, but she's going. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I'm thinking
She's
of
a former
WTM.
champion. She's a
Yeah,
former champion.
like Rhea.
Deanna Blake, former champion. Rhea
Mm,
says she's all in on schemo or whatever she's doing now. She was
okay.
invited. Um, uh, is Annie coming? I think I was working on Annie and or Emma, and I forget where I am with either one of them. But I think I've been talking to Annie. I think Annie might be a maybe.
Who is? Are you doing the invites?
Have you not been paying attention?
Not a ton.
You know, you and I talk a fair amount, and like then you have no clue about what I'm up to.
Well, you did you tell me?
I'm pretty sure that like you've seen all these posts that are what do you call it? That are collabs with ORM. Has it not occurred to you that like we're the reason this is all happening?
I know that you were like on the ground doing it. You were the one of the first people. I didn't know you were doing all the invites and everything. Like you are their main driver of this.
I am the official grumpy gatekeeper of Saudi Arabia.
Clearly, we know this. We know this
So
now.
yes, I thought everybody knew that. I've been talking about it a lot. So I thought yes, I was hired several months ago.
I thought you were just. I thought you were the media part. I didn't realize like you were like that when you start doing invites. To me, like now you're almost on the organization side.
They're like, "Hey, do you know everybody?" I said, "Yes, as a matter of fact, I do."
Of course.
Uh, and most of these folks trust me, so you should let me do the inviting.
All right. Well, who else?
Some people you don't know, some people that you haven't heard of. I have
You
to
think
pull up
I
my
don't know
list.
everybody?
You don't know everybody. We'll name another person. Yeah,
Uh,
I got this is
Katie
reminding
Knight.
me. I'm gonna message. Katie's in.
That's a great one. Who got is Callie going?
Callie was a maybe. We're waiting to hear back.
Okay. So is this capped
Because
at all?
well, here's the thing, and this is all public information. I don't mind saying this. They're like, hey, we need international athletes from all over the world. Certain athletes, they're flying in, right? A couple per country, they can afford to fly in and give a place to stay and a free race. And then a lot of other people don't get a free race, don't get a flight, but they get a place to stay, right?
Okay.
So if you get a free race entry and a place to stay, you still got to get there.
And it's
And
gonna be like
so
what are those looking like? 1,200, 1,400 bucks in the United States?
yeah, so it's plus it takes a day to get there
Yeah.
and you lose a day on the calendar, so it's a whole thing. So that's why it's you did it. You did it for Goofy.
And they were like, oh, we could win 40 stacks a person. I was like, I'm in, especially because my team was so good. I was like, my team's
Who was on your
amazing.
team again?
It was VJ, Rylan, Kent, Chris Rogloski, Jack, because there's puzzles out there. So
What a team!
he was like our ace too.
Were
Like,
you called the Colorado Crushers? What a team!
and then me, and that's not my jam. So I was basically just like hoping I didn't screw it up to be out there. So I know that's what I thought. It's like this team's amazing, and there was like a sub, so I didn't even really have to participate that much. And this is just so goofy that it didn't matter.
Can you describe can you for people who don't know, can you describe the event was okay, ready, set, go, start line. What's the first thing you did?
So there was 10 different stations, right? They're always different. Usually you ran up a platform and then you got to the top and there was some sort of obstacle that would be something you'd see on like Wipeout, right? Like you would you familiar with the show Wipeout?
Yes.
So it would be something like that where like we got on this big platform one time and then there was a rope and we had to pull this rope and the whole platform, this big platform moved. And then along the way, like there would be like barriers that we'd have to go over and under. We'd pull ourselves to the top of it. And that would be like one section. And then we'd move to like, and there'd be 3 or 4 sections within one of their 10 stations. And then there would be like a puzzle where we had to build a palm tree out of like foam pieces, and they're like, is it done, is it good? And they're like, yeah, go ahead. And then you have to like they put us in like these harnesses and we had to like all reach out and try to hit a buzzer at the same exact time.
I remember trying to watch that live. It was
it was just like nothing. I don't know. It was a game show.
Right. But it's where your rivalry with Cole Schwartz began.
It's where it began.
Because he said, we actually beat Rich's team. And you said, no, you did not.
I just didn't care. I was like, neither of us are going to win any money. We're not going forward. It's fine. It's not a big deal. And that's where we're at now. So, but this is going to be. So, do you have an insight on the course?
We are finalizing that as we speak. The biggest question people are asking, I'm actually about to do a podcast with them to get all this answered. Biggest question is it going to be horrible Abu Dhabi sand? And the answer is no.
Teaser.
It'll be mostly hard packed situation.
Okay.
Not a lot of vert, which you could also imagine. I think a gradual up and a gradual down.
It's gonna be like about 5 miles or whatever they're 8K.
I believe it's 10K course. 10K.
Okay. 10K. That's good. That's an 8 hours. DJ Fox going?
DJ Fox is going. You keep naming amazing people who are going.
What about Josh? Did you get Josh Reedinger on board?
I got Josh Reed on board.
Let's go.
That's
Atkins,
what I'm saying. You are
I'm guessing.
You are gonna be glued. You're gonna be like, holy shit.
How are they going to cover it? Like in terms of results, is it going to be the Tough Mudder situation where it is the like rolling live results?
Well, I assume that as a minimum, and then they're going to film something. I don't know if it's going to be live or not, but here's the thing. Here's why this is so good, audience that's listening. Okay, this is going to be so good because in Tough Mudder, in World's Toughest Mudder, you can go out super hot and then it sucks because it's cold and or you blow up. This is 8 hours nonstop. You could probably push yourself. A lot different than 24, right? Now, will you overheat? Will you die? It's in February, so it's not the hottest part of the summer. So maybe you will, maybe you won't. But yeah. Or the other thing is like, if you're really good, do you sign up as a team because then you win more?
Right.
The 4-person team, by the way, there's no gender specific. You can be all men, you can be all women, you can be men and women. The 4-person team is 40,000, so you win 10. The 2-person team is 20,000, so you win 10. So would you rather do that or be the 7th place dude? Right? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be, Rich Ryan? What if you get the call?
I'm definitely on a team.
What if the phone rings? Hang on a second. Boop, 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 boop. Hey, Rich, we got a spot open on the team. Do you want in?
Where is it at? When?
Do you need
how goofy?
How many shots did you need to get before you went over there? What's all that like?
I don't think we took anything. We don't think we had to do anything.
Did you have to get a passport and a visa?
No.
Really?
No. I guess not. No, it was just like regular international travel. But we ended up not winning any money. So I don't know if that has something to do with it. Like if they have to like retroactively, I'm sure there's something.
No, but I thought when you go over some places you have to get a thing. This is the Hybrid Show, by the way. We are on the Hybrid Fitness Media podcast. And
yeah,
I listened to the Irmer podcast live from the hotel room. Sounds great.
Armor training. Thank you. Dude, I can't believe how much better the audio sounds in person. Like it makes sense when you think about it, like not having like compress audio and send it over the internet, but when you're just connecting directly to like this machine, it sounds amazing.
Yeah, and it's great because you're actually looking at the person.
Yeah. It's like a real conversation.
You talked a lot about it on the podcast, which I enjoyed, but you hadn't even done the relay yet. So do you want to talk about the relay a little bit, the 4-person relay?
Yeah, let's talk about the relay.
So what were your stations again?
I had burpee broad jumps and how we say it, wobbles? Wobbles.
Or what if you're JK, you might say, I don't know, how does he say it? JK, by the way, listen to that episode. What a fantastic accent that guy has.
Great. Unbelievable Australian accent.
JK here. He's going to be on my podcast.
Nice.
What a great international sport we have, Rich.
We do with HYROX. Well, we got the one international athlete coming over for DEKA, but HYROX has it.
Did you see Tenerife?
I did see those results. It was outside and it was hot.
Yes.
Is what I heard, is what I understand. Yeah, because the times, our guy Tomas Terverdict,
right?
He ended up, it was like 34 something. He's definitely faster than that.
Did
And
you have him in the
Michaela was what,
pool?
36 or
Did
something?
you have them in the draft?
We did not do Tenerife. Is that how we say this?
Yeah, I thought it was Tenerife, but it's Tenerife. You guys didn't do a
Tenerife.
draft?
We did not. We skipped the Tenerife draft. We
Can
skipped
you
that.
imagine, dude? What do you think about the draft that we're gonna do for Saudi?
Are we gonna do it?
I actually messaged Jack. I said, "Listen, you know I normally
You
wouldn't do this, but you
you
should
went
bring
over
me
my head
on.
on this?
You should bring me for that one. You should bring me on for a
Oh,
special.
we
I
should.
don't
We
even have to.
definitely should.
I don't even have to do the post show. And by the way, you guys barely talk about it anyway. You just go, "Oh, this was the person who won." You usually don't talk about the
I
picks
know.
per se.
We did
Um,
that before where we're going through every single pick, and I think that's valuable enough. But then it ends up being like, okay, it's a little
but
redundant.
the draft is the fun part, and there's so many names to take. It's going to be unbelievable. Like
And
like after Ryan and Lindsay, who are the top two picks easily, then who do you want?
You would take Lindsay over Chris?
In 8 hours?
Yeah.
Lindsay's yeah, because Lindsay's faster.
8 hours is still not. It's not an 8K.
Lindsay's never lost a short one, and neither has Ryan, I don't think.
8 hours is not short.
I mean, not
It,
24.
Atkins for
24
8 hours
hours,
is a
24
layup.
hours, 24 hours, I take Chris any day. 8 hours, I take Lindsay.
I'm taking Chris on that one.
Wow. We'll have to, you and I have to do a little side action on that one.
We can do some side action. I love betting against you. That shit is easy money. Comes through every time. Got the Birds playing tonight. Want any of that action? Plus 2.5 against the Chefs? I don't think you want that.
Where is it?
It's in Kansas City.
Taylor at the game or not at the game?
I would imagine she's at the game, right? Prime time. There's gonna be a lot of
See,
eyeballs on this one.
I know.
Our Kelsey's better though, right?
Well, I think as a person, I think he's a cool dude.
That's what I'm saying. You'd rather hang out with Jason than Travis, right?
I mean, if I was younger, I'd rather hang out with Travis, but yeah, I'm too old, so I'll hang out with the fat brother.
Nice. Nice. We got the better one. That's for sure.
2.5 is the line?
2.5's the line. Birds are getting 2.5. I think they're gonna give it to him. But what do I know?
We'll talk about it late offline. But yeah,
But
who would you take third?
in the Saudi draft.
Chris, Ryan, Lindsay. Who do you take in an 8-hour race?
I saw Austin's coming.
Austin Azar, the most recent champion. They just don't stop. The names keep coming. Murderers Row.
That's for sure. You didn't get like a Mark Audette, right?
Mark and I are talking about it. Let's see. What did Mark just say? Mark might have said recently no because of something. I can't remember what. And I may have to leave this room shortly, but that's fine. I'll just walk outside and freeze for you. Mark Audette. What did he say? Mark Audette.
Because that's a great distance for him.
He's on the maybe train. I'm going to send him a quick message.
Yeah, it's a great distance for him. Who else would be like what kind of international like European athletes did you get? Like I'm sure the champ who won, why can't I, Sergey Reprogin. Basilico, yeah, or Sergey. Either of them.
Do your impression of Jack talking about Basilico.
I don't really I don't have a Jack. He's so fast. He's run like 15 flat with 1,500 feet elevation gain. How's that?
And then you have to name a very random Spartan stat that only he knows.
He's placed top 3 in 10 of the last 12 races that have happened after 8 a.m.
There you nailed it. That's a Jack. Yeah. That's a Jack Bauer.
Like, damn. Are we
now do your bracket. Now pull something completely out of your ass as bracket, but it sounds real.
I don't having a BK there. You always gotta. It has to be definitive, right? It's like this race. 3 things will happen.
Either She'll go out really hot and blow up, or she's gonna win wire to wire.
Yeah, right, right. And it's like, holy shit, I believe that is correct. I believe this is the case.
I gotta pull up my names. Hang on a second.
Pull up your
At
names.
BK, have it your way.
So I can, but on the relay, we're back and forth. We're bouncing around. That was it, like, it was interesting. Matt, you had, what did you have? You had farmers and wool bulls?
I dreamed of having farmers.
Oh, you had the
No,
skier.
no one gave me fucking farmers.
You had skier. You should have had farmers. But
Looking
I'm
back,
glad you didn't, because
looking back,
now you know you can do those wall balls.
well, yeah.
But that's it's kind of weird because there's a lot of standing around in
Well,
the relay.
that was a big problem when you have 1 and 8. Like
That's not good.
ideally, it'd be like 1 and 4, 2 and 5, right?
Yes,
You know how long I was standing around?
like at least 40 minutes.
Right.
Like,
Exactly. So when it was time for me to get my legs to run, it was like, oh no, I
yeah.
should have been staying loose this whole time, or at least the last 10 of those minutes. So my legs were jelly, and then I had to go. And then it was, dude, did you see the photo of how happy everyone is when I finished?
It's an amazing photo. And
Is
like
that because
you
they
are
were
just in
laughing
your
so
glory.
hard?
I
Is
think
that because they
they were probably laughing, yeah.
I mean, it was people were like, oh, even the judge behind is like, he did it. It's like rooting for, like, let's just say when they let the the Special Olympics kid shoot a 3-pointer at the end. That's kind of what it's like.
Dude, were you hamming it up though? Like what was your
No, I was dying. I was sitting on that bucket dying. I was
but
not hamming it up.
were you talking? Were you being silly? Were you
They
like
were being silly around me to keep me going because I would throw 8 or 10 and then just collapse in a pile on the bucket. And they'd be like, let's go, Matt. Let's go. You can do it. You can do it.
oh, so you were just in it. You were in that zone. You went to that place and you
Yeah,
couldn't
if he would have just waited one more second after that last photo, I literally just went down. Like my buddy Matt Kemp thought, he said, I thought you were gonna go into like the lights back there. And then there's a picture of me just laying there like this. And like that's the picture that the photographer should have taken.
But you came across with all your glory,
I
just
was so happy to be done.
raised up,
And I was
fired
like,
up.
and by the way, then I still went to your fucking meal. That's how much I love you.
And it was great.
It was
And it was a
great.
fun time.
It was a fun time.
We were happy to see you. And you got a wall ball out of it.
And yes, and I got a wall ball out of it. So anyway, back to your relay. So what are you doing? Farmers? What a
I did
gift.
burpees
Oh, burpees,
and
not
wall
a
balls.
gift. Did you
Not a
set the
gift.
burpee broad jump world record?
It's in my profile already. That's so funny that Marcus pointed that out. I wonder what it was. So apparently, yeah, now I have the fact because someone on one of the posts like, I need to see these burpee broad jumps. And I'm pretty sure that they were as legit as they could have been. Well, going at that speed, my feet were at least matched because I've thought about it specifically because there's a camera there. I was like, okay, you can't be screwing up with this foot situation. But maybe I was diving forward a little bit because I was going so fast.
You have been known to skirt rules. You have been known to like make up like, hey, can I go sideways over this box in a weird cheaty way? They
Look,
change the rules for me.
they had to change if it's within the confines of the rules. I'm gonna do it.
Right. Like right now, you can't do. There's nothing about PED, so you're taking a lot of THT. Is it THT? TRT? What are you taking?
TRT.
TRT, MGM, HBO. You're taking all those.
Taking all those. But my feet scenario I thought was good. Maybe I was diving forward a little bit, but yeah, I got through 119 for those burpee broad jumps, but I was sprinting. I was going as hard as I could. And then yeah, we put Magita on the push and he crushed it. Like we were going side by side with the Germans with their record. And that's a good team. Like Tim Vinesh, Florian Gass, who was in the Elite 15 last year, Mark Michelius, who was in the Elite 15 2 years ago and is just a beast, and some other guy who I'm not sure who was. But Martin is like the best of the sled push in the world. And Makita outpushed him. But when Magita came off of that push, it looked so miserable. He was on a different planet. Like I didn't think he was going to be able to run in the appropriate direction to get him to where he needed to go. So it was fun, but like, cause you get a lot of that rest. But yeah, having it spaced out in like 4-8 is much better than 1-8 for sure.
Let's go back to the 2-man. When you did the 2-man, you were crushing those wool bowls
Uh,
and you handed it to him and he slowed down. And I thought, well, why did Rich give that up?
I mean, if we were going to go for our fastest time, I probably shouldn't have. But like, we got to 70, and
I got nervous for a second. I was like, oh, he's a little bit off Rich's pace.
because he got there and was just trying to go fast and fumbled it once. But
Right.
then once he got it going, he was good
Yeah,
to
yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. But at first I was like, oh shit, is this you know what I mean? We're all
That would
nervous
have been
for
a
you.
bump. That would have been a bummer if we'd switched, and that would have cost us some. I
Right.
didn't know where our time was. I honestly, I think looking into it, I was like, okay, I think we can do this because it was like we were under 4 minutes of time to do the wall balls. And I was like, okay, we should be able to do this. And that was just our plan to do like 70-30. And he was like ready to do it. Like I could tell he was like wanted to jump in there. So I got the 70, got out, and he did the 30 fine. It was just like those first like two. It's just like you could tell he's like more fresh than he probably normally is. And it's a
Right.
lighter ball. So it was
Right.
like he was like kind of like fumbling and like it's hard to kind of know exactly where to throw it. Like after about 15 or 20 of those later ones, it started to feel better for me. Like I was like, okay, I'm in this rhythm. We're fine. So I think it was just like getting excited.
Right. And then you chanted USA, USA.
Even though Baleo is from Spain. did you see? Did you? Did you see Kent did the exact same thing after not planned? We just were like, we gotta let them know. And that
Well,
was I was excited about because we never get a chance to do this. So they have all the records.
do you think the playing field's even, or do you think it really means like we finally got decent sleds, or is it now it's like okay, no matter where you are at one point, it's just playing field's even now.
I think it's more even than not. Like I think all the sleds are pretty beat up worldwide. Like we haven't seen a really good sled time this year outside of the Chicago race anywhere. Like the Barcelona race wasn't fast. What was the German race? Hanover, Hamburg, somewhere. No, yeah, Hamburg.
Hong
They
Kong was the fastest ever though.
That was very fast. It was new carpet, new sleds. So like if that was if we got
So what about next time they go there?
I lost you for a second.
I know.
What'd you say?
What about next time they go to Hong Kong?
Well, they did Singapore, and that wasn't too fast. And that same equipment, I think, is being used in Australia. Like, it's just going to get more and more beat up, And the more, like, what really is like, what happens when the next time a country gets new sleds, and then like that first race, you have to be at if you want a 2-minute sled push, and they are changing equipment, right? The Thor, Thor's company is coming in and giving us sleds.
Right. Quick side note. I was just looking for something else, but do you know Lucas from Lucas Peck? How do you say his name from Spartan? Lucas Pescadallerone.
Piscolderon.
He's also going to
Nice.
Saudi.
Who else? You got the whole list there?
I just pulled it up, but there's one more name. The other goat. We're this close to confirming the other goat. If there's two goats,
Like
right?
Albin, you're saying?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So cross your fingers. I reached out to him like day one, and he's like, "I'm gonna wait till the money comes out. Money's out. He's
And
working
he's
on
like,
stuff.
now I'm
He's
interested.
he's talking to sponsors. So yeah, if we get
What's the second payout?
first is 80, second is what 32.
This is still like that's crazy. I'm sure like it's not like an all in all or nothing. So I'm sure the other guys are like, whatever. 32 G's.
I
Whew.
mean, look at that, dude. Could you imagine coming in second and winning $32,000?
That's ridiculous. That's absurd. Like I would have to think of like you should try to go in and see what other like what the biggest payout for a road race is or for like an Olympic race or
Oh,
something. Like
look what just came in. Look what just came into my feed.
is
Hang
it
on.
really important? Was that your own? What feed is that? Which are you on MBD?
That's ORM. I mean, that's HFM. I'm on ORM.
It's okay. Are you getting good traction on that? Are people liking it?
Well,
People
yeah,
commenting?
of course they are.
It was fun.
All right, we're all over the place.
We've lost a clean trajectory from start to finish.
Oh boy.
But that's okay.
Oh boy.
That's okay. You're on your phone now. You're on
I'm so
Instagram.
sorry. I'm so sorry. I got
You're
this is why I
sucked into
can't look at my
Instagram.
phone. This is why I can't
Exactly. Mine's over there. I'm right here. I'm over here. You're over
at
there.
BK. Have it your way.
What you got for Thanksgiving?
We're pretty low key. It's usually just us.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, we're sticking in Colorado this year, so same. It's just gonna be like super low key, just two of us, and maybe some friends coming through.
Yeah, we usually would invite someone who's like parents aren't around, but somebody that's like doing the like solo thing. But I don't know if they have any more of those. We used to always have at least one. Like my buddy Alex would come over, my buddy Jude would come over. These were guys who like didn't, but
Part of the men's club.
no, Alex actually is. I put Alex through that thing,
There you go.
but not my buddy Jude. But yeah, they'd be like, hey, come on over for like we do the Jewish holidays with them.
Mm.
It's good to do that stuff.
We
So
used to
where
go. We used to go see a movie on Christmas. It was the Jewish holiday stuff. But we did that, even though we're Catholic.
yeah, no,
We
I
just
still
go.
do that. I always do that. But let's get back to the fucking relay, the 4-man
Mhm.
relay. I forgot where we were with it.
We were talking about also. I can just walk through. Dylan did the ski, smashed it. Then Makita put himself into outer space with that sled. That looked so miserable. That's definitely the worst station.
I'm gonna pull up the stats. HYROX stats. Have you joined
But
the
the
High
thing
Society yet? Do you bring your patches home?
I did, I do, but I don't know what to do with them. I don't have one of those book bags. Did they give you one of those book bags yet?
No, I'm not a patch guy at all, but I earned those ones after my wall balls.
Oh yeah.
Wool bulls.
It's. I mean,
Wool
I think
bulls.
I think it's good. I mean, I don't mind a medal, but would you rather have a medal or a patch?
I have so many fucking medals.
That's the thing. They've lost their meaning. The second monitor is not working. So yeah, we can pull these up.
I'm pulling them up.
Let's pull them up. Oh, nice. Okay.
So first run was who?
That was Dylan. And so the first run,
257 and
the
a
first run
330 and a 336 erg. What do you usually do the erg in?
with the transition, it's like 350 mid. So yeah, it's like 20 seconds ish faster than what we would typically see. And that first run was a little bit short because the start was, it was like 2 3/4 laps, and everything else was right about 3.
Right. So then so Magida did
The second run into the push.
right. Oh, you guys didn't even win the push. Somebody beat you.
Yeah, I wonder who did that. It must have been a monster because he pushed it so hard. Like, I don't think he could have done anything else, and he was in rough shape for it.
Could have been one of those things where like the timer screwed up or somebody cheated.
Maybe they didn't catch our push or pull in doubles, which I was bummed about. And then it was Paleo
on the pull.
Mm-hmm. So 305 into 221, and a typical pull would be like a good pull is like 345. So he really hammered this.
Wow.
And again, this is open weight, so it's a little lighter.
Right.
But then 305 run, that was me. But you don't scale the burpee broad jumps. Everybody does the same. So it was 119.
World record
Burpee broad jumps.
I got to see what the cheating guy did it in. Hang on. Because that video gets a lot of traction. I get comments on that still.
Are people, and it's always like, it's probably negative.
Yes, there hasn't been one positive one on there.
I'm gonna go ahead and give them. That's like, hey, from one record holder to a former record holder, like, keep doing your thing, man. Keep your head up. Don't let the haters pull you down. It's the judge's call. Like, I do think that's the case. There's definitely like skirting the rules here, and then there's just like ignoring them. Right. And he's more on the latter of that. Like, I'm just gonna take a massive step and just roll.
Okay. Here he is. This says 125, so you beat it.
Oh, I murked it. Not even close.
This has reached 227,000 accounts though. Just crushed it.
Is that your best? That's like your best post yet? It has to be, right? That's a huge post.
Watch time is 1,042 hours.
That's way too many hours for people to be watching something like that.
3,400 interactions. Well, it just goes to show you that like negative is almost always
People
going
love
to
the
give you,
negative.
yeah,
I
which is
know
why
it
I'm
sucks.
not like that. I'm not about that.
Sucks.
I'm no Andrew Hiller. But
Not about that
fun.
life.
This one was too fun not to do that.
And then it was but that's me now, so nobody caught me. But I wasn't cheating like that. That's for sure. He was like really cheating and still beat his time. Come on, dude. And then it was Paleo again, which was a tough turnaround because he had the pull. So his run slowed down a little bit.
So what was the so who decided these? Like, did you draw straws?
No, this was strategic for sure. This was
So why
strategic
was
for
he
sure.
doing almost back to back?
That because he's so strong on the row. Like if like we probably could have flipped him and Makita and
Because he's a
wouldn't.
triathlete.
I guess I don't know why he's so good at the rower. He's disproportionately better at the rower than he is at almost all the other stations. And he's not like that big, but he has good form and he has a big engine. Yeah, I think he has really strong legs. So yeah, he's good on the row. So we're like, all right, we'll put him there because initially it was going to be Dylan, and then Kent was going to be on the sled push, Makita on sled pull. I was going to be on burpees, and then it was just going to be Dylan, Makita, uh, Kent, and then me. So then when Kent bailed, we put Palio on the pole because he's good at that as well, and then the row just made sense. Like I said, we probably could have flipped the farmers and the row, but like I don't think we would have made up much time either way. And Makita hammered that farmer's carry.
106.
Yeah, that's fast. That's really fast.
And then who was lunges?
Dylan. So 209 is also real fast. If you can be under, again, it's open weight, but in the pro weight, if you're around 3, it's about as good as you're going to get. You can get to like the 250s, but only like the elite of the elite get there. And then it was me. This run was long. I must note, long run at the end. That was a hoofing. I was like, there was no other option than to run as fast as I could and then do unbroken wall balls. Like I wasn't doing anything but that.
Right.
And that's one thing when I got in there, I didn't even notice that it was heavy. I didn't know it was heavy until someone said it. Maybe I was at like 70 or 80. And that's when I started to feel tired when they told me it was heavy, which is just like this. Because I wasn't gonna drop it because I was like, I can do 14 unbroken every single time, no matter what. Like it's not a possibility for me to not do these unbroken. So it's just like a real like illuminating like factor when it comes to these events, right? It's like I knew I could do 14 unbroken, but I don't know I could do a 20 unbroken. And so my mindset was just like, I'm doing it unbroken no matter what. And I just did it, even though it was heavier.
Right.
Which is just like, okay, like where's the mental and where's the physical and where is it like
exactly.
separating?
Exactly.
So that was like gave me a lot of confidence in that. It's like, okay, I can, and my mindset was just different. Like I came into it. You know what I thought of going into this?
What do you think of this?
And I don't know if it was at the end of Inglorious Bastards. You're a fan, huge fan. Where Dominic DeCoco,
best day ever for the Jews. Are you kidding me? finally got our revenge.
Yeah, when Dominic DeCoco was in there, and they asked him to like, can you make it to like, because he had to like run and like punch somebody with that gun, right?
Right.
And he said like, I have to. Like there was no other option. And that's what I said in my mind. I was like, I have to. I thought of Dominic DeCoco in that moment.
I think that's amazing.
And I had to do it.
I'm just gonna. People always say like, oh, it's like in an ultra runner, like, oh, you run the first 50 with your legs, the second 50 with your mind. I'm just gonna say it's all fucking mental. Okay.
Yeah.
You think the difference in these quarterbacks that come out of college and their skill level, right? Like if you looked at their actual skills, like accuracy, all those things, right? And then they get to the pros and some rise to the occasion, right? And some do not. Some are Zach Wilson. You think Zach Wilson's skills are that much worse than all these guys he went to school with? So why is he fucking thrown to the wrong man all the time?
That's what makes it almost mental. Like it's like 50-50 with these quarterbacks. It's like, right, sometimes they're good. Right. And it's an intangible that you can't like pick up on tape.
Right. like let's talk about the GOAT, right? Tom Brady, right? Like none of his like nobody would say like, well, clearly he's got the strongest arm and the fastest feet and like it's fucking, you know what I mean?
He just had that edge. He got that chip on his shoulder and he never let it go.
And then it got better that when you're in the huddle and everybody else around you believes you can win, then that's how you fucking win.
Yeah. Right. And that's like how to facilitate that is like not as like tangible, right? It's like how do you get there? And it's different for every person. And like everything needs to be boiled down to different purposes. Like some people, like for a long time I kind of like steered people away from trying to like chase up an outcome, which I still do. I don't think you should. But like if like your goal and is to win because you like winning, then I think that that's an appropriate goal. Where it used to be like, no, it's not about winning. It's about like the process and sticking forward and doing what you can within those moments and trying really hard there. But if winning is something that's going to push you to go even harder, then you would go. Like for me in this relay, like it was because I had other people that were relying on me. You know, like in an
Right.
individual race, like I can let myself off the hook, but in this I
Right.
wasn't gonna.
Right. So thinking back to my performance, if somebody said, Matt, if you can get these wall balls done 30 seconds faster than you're doing them, I will give you $1,000. I probably would have figured out a way to get my ass off that bucket sooner.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Like, like
So
there's like
I
a
need to find so I need to find that without someone saying, right?
without
Somebody
it being monetary or like yeah, like
whatever.
or making it up. Like I used to try to do that. Like, oh, these race results are good for my family, and like they kind of are.
I would say they are.
You know, like it all kind of is tied together. So if I can like facilitate something like that or something that's like important enough to not like let myself off the hook is where I kind of sometimes I'm there, sometimes I don't have it.
Yeah.
And it's hard. But that was really that was like the best part about this relay is to know like okay, like there is an extra level there. There's an extra bit that you can go into if you really want to, which is great going into DEKA. You know, like so that's why I'm feeling confident going into it.
Well, and I think even if you look at like mindset, like I think Lauren and Meg have completely different mindsets, right?
Mm-hmm.
But neither one's right or wrong.
Exactly.
Like Lauren wants to do her best, but she doesn't quite have that like killer thing that Meg has. Meg wants to fucking destroy you. I don't think
Meg wants to
Lauren,
win. Yeah.
but
Meg
she
wants to
wants to
fucking win.
right.
Yeah. And yes.
And Lauren, of course, wants to win, but it's different. It's just a
Yes.
different like level and gear, and both of them, like at the end of it all, who's going to have the most titles, who's going to have the most records, like they're going to hopefully battle each other out for a while.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be because of one mindset versus the other. They both have the thing that's going to make them do the best that they can possibly do.
Right.
Right. It's just going to be other factors that play into that point, which is what's so fun. We're going to have it for years, Matt.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so.
Anything else we want to cover?
Not
Cover
really.
what else
Thanks
we
for having
wanted
me
to
on, man.
cover.
I requested coming on.
I wasn't even going to say that.
I requested. I was like, hey, man, we haven't talked
I
in a while. I haven't been on. It's
I
fun
would
coming
have you
on.
on every week. Listen, I would have you on every single week, but you're on two other fucking
Too many.
shows.
Too many shows.
You're on Race Brain and Irmer.
Armor Training Podcast in person the last 2 weeks. It's been
Right.
amazing. Wish we could do that always, but that's not a possibility. It's just
Well,
better that
will
way.
you do 2 out of 3 at DEKA
2 out of 3.
hosts? Like you and Rich could record in Dallas.
If you confuse me and Ryan Kent and our names again,
What did I say?
you said if you and Rich can record there, I will go solo. It's no problem. I can do a solo episode too. Yeah, but yeah, we probably would. That's a good call. That's a good call. You gonna be just dishing out content for DEKA?
That's what I do. Dish out content.
Dishing
But
out
let's
content.
grab a coffee or something though.
Do you have a spot yet? Do you know where you're staying?
In Dallas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty close. Oh, and this one is way closer to the airport. Thank God. The last
We're
time I was in
actually flying.
Dallas was World's Toughest. I had to drive like hour plus to get to the venue. This one, it's like 15
Oh.
minutes.
Oh. So yeah. Like you're doing. We're flying. We're actually flying into the Love
That's what we're flying
Airport.
into.
Oh, nice. You're doing Southwest or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's actually close to the venue. But this venue is kind of funny because there isn't like a hotel next to it.
Right.
We're spoiled now in hybrid because last 2 weeks ago I was connected to the venue. It was amazing.
Yes.
Freaking OCR days, you drive an hour to stay at a venue that's 40 minutes away from freaking place.
Right.
Well, cool, man.
When do you arrive?
We're Wednesday. Or no,
Okay.
Thursday. I'm sorry, Thursday.
All right.
Just the day before.
I arrive Thursday as well. Let's enjoy a coffee and or a bagel.
Definitely.